A lot to get to with the Sunday Roundtable. Joining us this morning, Democratic political analyst Marianne Marsh and Republican political analyst Rob Gray. Great to see both of you as always. All right, let's start with Karen Spilka and the push and pull on Beacon Hill. What's your takeaway?
Well, the big news is that there will be federal funding coming to Massachusetts for the migrant situation.
We don't know how much.
We don't know how much, but that is news. And I think welcome news to everybody in Massachusetts, given how many migrants have come to Massachusetts. And we've discussed on this show many times the efforts being made to take care of migrants who come here and do the right thing and do the job. But it is expensive. Many of us, myself included, thought it wouldn't happen until after the election. When the Democrats win, there would be money. It'll be interesting to see not only how much, but how.
She punted on Governor Healey's real estate transfer tax, which is interesting. I thought she might have endorsed it, but she didn't.
Do you think the bar was set too low at that $1 million threshold for a lot of lawmakers? I mean, almost every household in Greater Boston is approaching or at that $1 million amount these days.
I do, but I think it's a bad idea at any level, because why do we need new taxes to fund housing?
All right, let's move on to presidential politics. The dates are on the books. President Biden and former President Trump will debate twice in the months ahead, June and September, CNN and ABC. No studio audience. Rob, are you surprised, and is either candidate taking a bigger risk?
Well, first of all, we needed to do debates earlier. I think this is a good thing. 69% of voters in the presidential elections 2020 voted earlier than Election Day. So we have to get these debates out there later. And the Commission on Debates was stuck in the old dynamic. Yeah. But I do think, I think Biden is doing it because he doesn't want to join the first George Bush, Jimmy Carter, Gerald Ford in being incumbent presidents trailing going into the first debate and then losing the election. That's the pathway. He's trying to shake up the dynamic by challenging Trump this early.
Marianne?
Really smart to do it this early. Excuse me. And the fact is, by doing it in June, you're now telling the American people, here's the ticket, the choice you don't want. Donald Trump's in this race. Joe Biden's in this race. You can't ignore it anymore. Now you have to make a choice. So that first debate allows that to happen. And it puts Donald Trump back in the minds of American voters who have tried to ignore him for the last 4 years. So that's really smart. And it comes at a time when you have just enough time that if you do well, you can cultivate all that and use it. But if it doesn't go so well, you can wash it out over the 4th of July holiday. The September one, Rob's absolutely right. You have to get that done before early voting starts. It starts earlier and earlier now. I think for Biden, the bar has been set so low, he'll clear it no matter what. That's a win-win for Biden.
It is a high wire act for Biden, given his increasing age. He may pass it, but there's a lot riding on this debate. A lot of people are going to watch.
Every time he's exceeded expectations in 2020. He's done it at the State of the Union. Trump's even helping him by trashing him. Keep it up.
I agree.
Yeah. All right, President Biden, speaking of, will visit New Hampshire this week. And on the way there, he's going to stop by Massachusetts to collect some money, beef up his campaign war chest. Could that have something to do with his approval? This week, he kind of leaned on the scales here for disaster relief in Leominster and then down in the Attleboro area after that awful flooding last September. FEMA had denied federal help. The White House reversed that. Who gets the credit here, Marianne? Was it the congressional delegation? Was it Beacon Hill? Was it the governor?
Was it divine intervention that Maura Healey sat next to Deanne Creswell at the Vatican with the Pope? Could that have happened? I think everyone gets credit here. Maura Healey, the congressional delegation, everybody, and Joe Biden. It's always good to make up for a mistake. That was a big mistake.
Rob?
I mean, the reason the White House political office exists in large part is to soften the political beachhead when you're visiting someplace. So no question, our delegation and the governor advocated for this, but Biden's smart on politics, too.
Well, and also, I mean, so often we see these huge disaster declarations for other parts of the country. Luckily, we don't have that problem here in New England generally, but when it does happen, it's nice to get some support, right?
Well, that's the equivalent of it for, you guys were out there in Leominster. My God, that was the equivalent of like a hurricane, tornado, disaster.
Over a foot of rain.
Right.
It was surprising that initial decision.
Yeah.
All right. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson says it was his idea to go to New York last week to support former President Donald Trump at his hush money trial. He was joined by an expanding cast of Republican Trump loyalists. Johnson called the trial an illegitimate sham, a travesty, and corrupt. What does it say when the Speaker of the House, who is second in line for the presidency, can matter-of-factly trash the nation's judicial system? Rob?
Well, it's a bad look for Johnson, but This is the most frivolous of the cases against Trump. A lot of them are a lot more serious, and this case does look like politics and a little bit of why does it matter. And for Johnson, it's good politics because he needs Trump to keep control of the House. So he needs to basically kiss up to Trump a little bit. And Johnson will use it for fundraising with the Trump base to help keep Republicans in power in the House and him in power as Speaker.
But sowing distrust in the system?
Like I said, it's a bad look for him if you just, but the politics of it are good for him.
What do you think, Marianne?
He's trying to tear down our democracy. I cannot tell you how serious this is. Everybody mocked it, thought it was funny and all that stuff. No, no, no. Not only is he second in line to the presidency, he was one of the architects of January 6th. And oh, by the way, will oversee the certification of the 2024 election in the House. He is now trying to take out the third branch of government, the judiciary, by undercutting it, trashing it, saying it's illegitimate, corrupt, and everything else. I can't tell you what a threat this is. This is a slow-moving coup in front of our eyes. No one's taking it seriously. They're trying to kill democracy before the election, and on election day put a knife in it. This is deadly serious business.